Good morning to respected professors and to one and all present here. My name is Anukiran Ghosh and today I am here with my teammates to deliver a speech and also to demonstrate a live web app on the topic real-time automatic speech recognition. So this is the team. We are a team of 3 people, but basically I had to do all the work. So yeah. So why automatic speech recognition? Automatic speech recognition is used in multiple fields as of today because it is used in a lot of fields even in our daily lives. So we will talk more about that in later slides. So let's highlight some of the so in this presentation we are going to highlight some of the main applications of automatic speech recognition, and then we will move forward with the demo of the transcription and translation process, and then we will show you the live web app that we have built, and then we will also go through the code and the models we have used. So these are some of the applications of automatic speech recognition, and I'm sure you have used automatic speech recognition in your daily lives even if you are not aware. So it is used for accessibility, it is used to increase efficiency, it is used for data analysis, and it is also used for innovation. So in case of accessibility, let's take an example. So for people with hearing impairments, what they can do is they can use this technology to transcribe speech into text, and then they can read out the text because they have a hearing problem but not a reading problem. So they might get problems, they might encounter problems in hearing what the other person has to say. So in that case, what they can do is they can use the transcription feature of automatic speech recognition, and then they can transcribe the text of the transcribe the speech of the other person, and then they can read it out for themselves. This is how they can this is how this technology can help in communication, and it will kind of make communication accessible. So let's also talk about the translation feature. So if a person goes to a foreign country, or if a person speaks to someone who doesn't know their language, they can use this technology to communicate, because the person might not know the foreign language, but they can use the translation feature. So let's say one person is talking in Japanese and the other person is talking in English. The Japanese person doesn't know English and the English guy doesn't know Japanese. So what they can do is they can translate their speech into text. So the Japanese will be translated to English and the English will be translated to Japanese. In this way, both of them can communicate with each other. So this also helps in efficiency. So we have all used Google Assistant or Siri. So what we do is we say, okay Google, tell me what's the weather is going to be like today, and Google just answers your all your questions. You don't have to type in your question and go to Google, type in your question and search for it. So this also helps in efficiency. It is used in voice assistants, it is used in virtual assistants, and it is also used in a lot of other fields for to increase efficiency. Uh, Thirdly, it is also used in data analysis. So let's say in big data there are multiple different forms of data available. It is very complex, large data sets. So it is very difficult to analyze because let's say some portion of the data is text and some portion of the data is audio. So there's an inconsistency in data present. So what we can do is we can transcribe the audio data using logman spectrogram, and we can just transcribe it to text. So now we have text data. The previously stored text data is also there, and also we have transcribed the audio into text. So we have text data, and now we can analyze the data to extract meaningful information and insights from the data. So it is very much useful in data analysis as well. So first we transcribe the data into text and then we analyze it. Next, it is also used in innovation, be it healthcare or education or content industry. It is used everywhere for innovation. As I've already mentioned, it is used in entertainment industry and content industry, and we will talk later about this in this presentation. Be it OTT platforms or a YouTube video or an Instagram reel, in all of these things, ASR is used. Let's say you are watching a movie, and you are watching a movie on Netflix. So there's feature for dual audio, dual or like what you can do is you can switch audios, dubbed audios, and the real version of the audio. Let's say you are watching an English movie, you can just translate the audio to Hindi. So there's dual audio, and there's also captions in different languages. So both transcription and translation is used here. So for this particular project, we have used OpenAI's Whisper. So OpenAI is the company that built ChatGPT, DALL-E, Shapey, Pointy, and a lot of other models. But the special thing about this particular model is it is completely open source, which means people can contribute, people can build projects, and it's the code is live on GitHub, and also the research paper is available, so people can tweak and play with it. So what is Whisper? Whisper is a general purpose speech recognition model. So basically it works with NLP. NLP is natural language processing. So let's take an example of Google Assistant. Let's take the example of Google Assistant. So if I ask Google Assistant, what is the weather going to be like this week? So Google Assistant will fetch all the data, all the weather data for this week, and tell me what's the weather report. So basically in the back end, what happens is in natural language processing, whenever you ask something to Google, or basically whenever you ask something to Google Assistant, what it does is it transcribe your speech to text. So basically whenever you ask something, if you look at the screen, it transcribe your speech to text. Whatever you say, it's getting transcribed into text. So this is natural language processing. It transcribes your speech to text and then tries to understand the context behind it, which is NLU, or natural language understanding. It understands the context. So in this case, my question was, um, what is the weather going to be like this week? So Google Assistant is trying to understand the context of my question. This week can be any week of the year. And what is the weather going to be like? Of where? Of India, of China, of America, and even if in India, of which city? So Google is understanding the context. If it does not understand the context, it is of no use. So this comes under natural language understanding, and then it generates a structured answer in a conversion in a kind of conversational and structured way, and it sends the response back to us, which is natural language generation. So if we go deep into this, we will divert from the original topic of this presentation. So let's not go much deeper into this NLP, but basically it is using natural language processing. So basically Whisper is a general purpose speech recognition model. So now these are the model weights available. As you can see, Tiny is trained on 39 million parameters, Base is trained on 74 million parameters, Small is trained on 244 million, and there's Medium and Large. And you can see some of the models are English only model, and some are multilingual model, and most of these are multilingual model, and there's required virtual RAM and required speed and relative speed. Now to give an UI, to build an UI on top of this model, what we have used is something called Gradio. So Gradio is a Python library which is very simple to use and very simple to set up. So if you know about Hugging Faces, it is a website where ML researchers and programmers upload their ML models from research papers and all those stuff, and then they use Gradio to kind of give an user interface to the to the model so people can try it out, and then they upload it on Hugging Faces. So all of these models on Hugging Faces, all of these models available on Hugging Faces use Gradio to set up an user interface. So it is widely used. Either you can use Gradio or you can use Streamlit. So Streamlit is a bit complex to set up, and Gradio is much more simpler, so therefore I went with Gradio. It is very simple to set up. Then to run the code, I have used Google Colab because it provides a free GPU which is decent enough to run this model. So if you recall, I have already mentioned that be it OTT platforms or a YouTube video or Instagram reel, it is used everywhere. So let's have a look at a demo. So this is the video that I took from YouTube, and then I downloaded this video and I took out a small portion of the video as a clip, and then I opened the video with Audacity. So if you don't know what is Audacity, Audacity is a free open source audio editing tool. Basically it is a free open source audio editing tool. So basically when I opened the video with Audacity, what Audacity did is it kind of extracted the audio from the video part, and then I amplified the audio, and then I kind of trimmed out rest of the part and trimmed out only the part which is important to me for this presentation. All right. So yeah, then let me show you the output. First of all, I'm going to show you the output which is generated by YouTube, which is the YouTube auto transcription, and then I'm going to show you the one that I have transcribed using Whisper, and then I will tell you the difference. Just notice the captions, and then I will tell you the difference between the two. So first of all, let me play the YouTube video. Just notice the captions at the bottom of the screen. So this is the YouTube video.
Big man in a suit of armor. Take that off. What are you?
Genius, billionaire, playboy, philanthropist.
I know guys with none of that worth 10 of you. I've seen the footage. The only thing you really fight for is yourself. You're not the guy to make the sacrifice play, to lay down on a wire and let the other guy crawl over you.
I think I would just cut the wire.
Okay, so this is the YouTube video that I have kind of screen recorded just to show you the auto captions. And if you notice the auto captions, it is not properly kind of lined. It is not aligned properly. The text is not aligned properly, and then there's some words are misspelled, and there's no punctuations. And YouTube auto captions also struggles with understanding different accents. For example, if you speak an Indian accent, YouTube auto captions will have a hard time to transcribe it to text, and most probably it will just transcribe something gibberish which is of no use. So now I'm going to show you the transcription that I have done using Whisper. Just notice at the bottom of the screen where the captions will come up.
Big man in a suit of armor.
Okay, so this is the video that is there. So I will choose the subtitle file that I have created with Whisper. So this is the subtitles file. So it kind of spits out subtitles in subtitles.vtt. So it spits out subtitles in .vtt format, or if you want in .srt format, you can also specify that in the command. Okay, so now look at the bottom of the screen and just notice the captions.
Big man in a suit of armor. Take that off. What are you?
Genius, billionaire, playboy, philanthropist.
I know guys with none of that worth 10 of you. I've seen the footage. The only thing you really fight for is yourself. You're not the guy to make the sacrifice play, to lay down on a wire and let the other guy crawl over you.
I think I would just cut the wire.
Alright, so this is the Whisper video. So if you notice the difference between the YouTube auto transcription video and a Whisper transcribed video, it is that it is much better with punctuations, it is much better with aligning, it is much better with the caps and the small letters. So but I have used only the tiny model. So if I go to the model weights, you can see I've used the tiny model, which is the lowest available model available here, trained with the lowest number of parameters. So even with the tiny model, it did a pretty great job in transcribing the audio to text. So now let's have a look at transcript. We have had a look at transcription. Now let's have a look at translation. So I will translate a Japanese video into English. So basically the audio is not going to be translated, so the audio is transcribed to text and the text is translated into English. So you will see English subtitles generated for a Japanese video. So this is the video. Let me just play it. This is a very popular Japanese anime footage. It is from the anime Your Name. So let me just add subtitles that I have generated using Whisper. Okay, so this is the subtitle file. Let me just add it. Now this was the video. Let me just show you the captions or the subtitles file. I will just open it with Notepad and then you can see it. So basically in subtitles file, what happens is it gives you the timestamp along with the text. So this is the timestamp. It will run from 0000 seconds and 0 to 800 seconds, and this is the text for it, and then similarly all other timestamp with the text. So this is what it is like inside a subtitle file. So now let me show you the actual code and the transcription process. So this is the Google Colab file for the real-time web app. So let me just run this code and let me show you. So it is allocating the server, which is, if you go to runtime and if you go to change runtime type, you'll get to see that we are using Python 3 and GPU T4, which comes free with this Google Colab. So now it is connected. You can see the RAM and the disk, and it is running the code. So basically what this line of code is doing is it is kind of installing Whisper from GitHub, and then we are importing Whisper and we are loading the model base. So in this code, in this website, in this live web app that we are going to show you, in this live web app we are using the base model. So if you can recall, the base model is this one, which is trained on 74 million parameters, and it is English only as well as multilingual. So now we are loading the model.device, which is CUDA, which comes pre-installed, which is free with Google Colab. And now let's run this piece of code. It will just import the audio. So now as you can see, here comes an error because we have not uploaded the audio file. The content is not present here. So what we will do is we will just add this file and then rerun this piece of code. So if we go to desktop, and the name of this audio file was real audio. If we just click on this and click on open, click on OK, and now as you can see over here, It is uploading. So now as soon as it is uploaded, just click on this play button once again and it will fetch the audio. Now as you can see, it is running properly. Now let me just play this audio file for you. If you are building a web app for your startup, these two AI tools can save you a lot of time and money. The first tool is Galileo. Okay, so basically this is the audio file, which is an audio for a reel. So now let's have a look at this code. Now as you can see, it is loading the audio from here. This audio, it is loading it, and then it is streaming the audio. So basically it is streaming the audio to first 30 seconds, and then it is kind of converting the audio into logman spectrogram format, and then it is kind of detecting the language, and it is using Whisper's decoding option, and then it is decoding the logman spectrogram, and then it is printing the result as text. Let's just run this piece of code. Now as you can see over here, it will detect a language which is English, and then it will transcribe the audio file for the first 30 seconds. So as you can see, it has detected the language English, and this is a transcribed text. Now we are going to build an UI on top of this model. So what we can do is we will install Gradio, which is pip install Gradio or Gradio, whatever you call it. Now we are going to import Gradio, and then import time and Whisper decoding options. Then we are going to load some of the components of Gradio, and then we are going to again do the same transcribe or translate function. So the first thing is for transcription, and the second thing is for translation, which is the same thing, kind of like we are converting it to logman spectrogram format, and then kind of again converting it into text and printing the text. And then there's two options, which is two tasks. Either you can choose transcription or translation. Now let's set up an interface, and we will get a link for the live web app. Now this is the link. Let's click on the link. Now what we have done here is we have added an authentication feature, which is hard coded to kind of admin, which is hard coded to defaults, admin and password. Now as you can see, this is the simple web interface. Now if you record something from the microphone, let's record something. Let's click on allow. Hi, I'm recording this audio to find out whether Whisper can record and whether Whisper can transcribe Indian accent English to text, and if it can do it properly. Now I have clicked on stop recording, and then I'll click on transcription. Now as you can see, it has transcribed it properly. So it is quite good at transcription. And I've also built an API, so you can use it by default. Gradio API, which is Gradio builds it by default. So this is the API, but I have also used and built an API. I can show you, like let me just show you. So this is the API which I have used for the Iron Man video. So I've also written a blog post. The link will be in the description below. You can just go ahead and check it out. So yeah, this is the API which is written on Flask. The code is available on GitHub. Now if we go back to the presentation, you can see This is how we did an API call. We ran the script new api.py and it started the server because it is using Flask, and then we made a API call with the audio that we have extracted using Audacity, and then it has transcribed the audio into text format, and it has also taken care of the punctuations and text alignment. So yeah, this is all about today's presentation.